Hello everybody, welcome to my first constructive video here with TNLG. Here we have a pretty much standard blue-white-red flash deck. One of the cards that stands out from this version than any other version right now is the return of Boros Reckoner. I don't know when it was, at some point the people stopped playing with Boros Reckoner, but I found the card could be very good right now, especially against the very popular red-green deck. So this is one of the reasons why I want to try it out and bring back the Boros Reckoner. And along comes Boros Reckoner is the Harvest Pyre. It can do a lot of damage in just one shot by filling your graveyard through Thought Scour. It's just one of the ways to kill him out of nowhere. And with 4,000 Scours, I get to play with less lands, so now I'm at 25 lands and 1 Cavern of Souls. The Cavern of Souls here is really good against the control decks because pretty much all your creature types are either wizards or angel. Yeah, surprisingly, Boros Reckoner is a wizard somehow. And moving on to our removal suite, we have 3 Pillar of Flames to deal with the aggressive matchup like the red base deck or even Voice of Resurgence, Elves, Elvish Archdruid, any of those things. And then we have Azure Charm to deal with things that Pillar of Flame can't, as well as it's just very good putting creatures on top, and if it's dead in your hand, you get to cycle it and draw a card versus the control decks. And then we have one of each Essence Scatter, Harvest Pyre, Izzet Charm, and Turn and Burn. And the reason to have a split of these spells is because you are playing Augur Bolas, so you can find them throughout the game, whichever one you need, as well as Thought Scour to mill them and flash it back with Snapcaster Mage. Having a lot of options with Snapcaster Mage really goes a long way of winning the game. And for the permission here, we just have the 2 Dissipate and the Essence Scatter, which is a few more less than what other blue-white-red flash deck plays nowadays. They have Syncopate and sometimes Rewind, but I just have 3 here since I don't really need too much permission, since Harvest Pyre does go a long way of letting me kill my opponent out of nowhere, so it's not as important to have my spells protected by counter spells or counter one of theirs. I can still rely on the Harvest Pyre way to kill them. And there are 2 War Leaders Helix here and no Supreme Verdicts, because with this version you get to play a few more creatures because of the Boros Reckoner. So the Supreme Verdict doesn't work that well when you have things that you don't want to wrath away. So War Leaders Helix serve kind of like a Supreme Verdict role in that it can deal with creatures and let you gain the life so you can stay ahead and raise them with Boros Reckoner, Restoration Angel, and whatnot. So therefore you don't really need the Supreme Verdicts, and the Helix just take over their spots. And of course you have the Restoration Angel, one of the best creature in this deck. You get to blink Boros Reckoner and double block, which is very good. And you get to blink Augur Bolas, Snapcaster Mage for more value, or you can just play it as a 3/4 flash and block down Hell Riders or 2/2s or what have you. And to tie it all up, you have the one of the best cards in standard right now, Sphinx's Revelation. It just lets you refill after you cast all your Boros Reckoner, Snapcaster Mage, Augur, War Leaders Helix, what have you, and just let you have more cards and keep going to the late game. And as for the sideboard here, we have 2 Supreme Verdict just in case, even though I don't think they're very good in the sideboard. think you still need them. They could be cut for other stuff because this deck is already very good against aggressive deck. So I can see cutting Supreme Verdict for other cards that I need for other matchups like control. I don't have that much against control decks, just the counter flux and the 3 dispels. So I could see them being negates of some sorts or another counter flux. And then we have the fourth pillar of flame here. I think the fourth pillar of flame is much better than the Supreme Verdicts because they're all decks that I do want 4 pillar of flames, like to deal with Voice of Resurgence, Strangler Guys, even just Mana Elves. Whereas the Supreme Verdicts, I don't think I will side them in that often, but it is there, so I'm gonna side it in. And then is a Static Caster. They serve a different purpose than the other removal spells because it help you lock your opponent out if they have a bunch of small creatures like Lingering Souls, and even against just mono red, they have a ton of 1 toughness creature, so it's very good there. As well as it is a 0/3, so you can block a ton of their 2 power creatures like Rakdos Crackler, uh, Lightning Mauler, things like that. And then we have 3 clones to have a way to deal with Thragtusk, Angel Serenity, and even Huntmaster. They're very good against Junk Reanimator and John decks. So they're there. One of the better ways to beat Junk Reanimator is for you to clone a Thragtusk, and then you get to blink it and clone an Angel of Serenity at instant speed. Whenever you get to do that, it is just a blowout. And finally, we have one of each Aetherling and Assembled Legions. They are both similar in that they're very good against Jun and the control mirror match. They are very difficult to deal with when they resolve. The opposing deck usually don't have any ways to deal with it, and the longer the game goes, they're just gonna take over the game. That's pretty much it for the main deck, and we're in the 4 round standard daily here, so let's get to it.